No power dialogue is said in vain. Remember that. And the opinions, thoughts, and musings of the students in the canonical studies classroom tells you a lot and gives you an insight into how that character thinks, into that character's mindset and their psyche, and it also gives you insight into how that character's mind operates. Remember that as well. So that leads me to say this. Like, during the Selfish Acts episode, it was either episode 2 season 2 or episode 3 season 2, but during that episode the students were discussing and debating whether an act can be truly selfless or not, and during that episode Brushandria said, "You scratch my back, I scratch yours," which is obviously a metaphor implying that if you do something that I want, I'll do something that you want in return. And she was saying that that's the fundamental nature of human beings. That was her perspective, pretty much. That's the fundamental nature of human beings. Every person does something for their own personal gain. Anything that someone does for something else, they want to gain something in return. Their aim is to gain something in return. Even if someone does something and that particular thing that they do for someone else makes them feel good, that positive emotion that they feel from doing it shows and proves that the act wasn't truly selfless. That's what she was also getting at as well. So that's what Brushandria was pretty much inferring, and she pretty much stated and inferred that everyone does something to get back something in return. So, and Rashad Tate, he pretty much agreed with her. He shared the same mindset. And I was thinking, when I was watching, this could be an omen for things to come in the future. This could potentially foreshadow Brushandria and Rashad Tate working together in the future, or in fact sleeping together possibly. But I think, these two, Tate and Brushandria, they're either going to work together in the future or they're going to hook up, they're going to sleep together. But if they work together, it's going to be for mutual benefit. It's going to be for mutual benefit because, like I've stated, they have a similar mindset. They both believe that no act can be truly selfless. They both understand that, they both understand that anytime someone does something, they want something back in return. And we've seen Rashad Tate work with Tariq, for example. He wants Tariq. He wants access to Congressman Sweeney. He wants access to Congressman Sweeney. He wants dirt on Congressman Sweeney, and Tariq can help him with that. And in exchange, Tate helps Tariq get custody of his sister. So we've seen Tate work with other students such as Tariq, and I think it might be a similar thing. He might do something similar with Brushandria. I could be wrong, but I think he might do something similar with Brushandria there as well. Also as well, like, at least one of the students is going to have more airtime either this season or next season. So even if Tate and Brushandria work together, it might not necessarily be this season. It could be season 3, season 4, I don't know. But if they work together, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they work together, hence why I'm predicting it, because at least one of the students is going to have more airtime. They wouldn't, I don't think the power writers would consistently show us the students. Pretty much every episode, we see the same students talk. We see the other girl, forgot her name, is it Ashley? But we see her. We see the new guy who's come along in season 2. The new guy, one of the new guys. Obviously, Tariq and Lauren are always talking, and one of the other guys as well. But it's usually the same students, and I'm thinking, why is it usually the same students? There's a reason why. It's usually the same students that talk, and I think one of the reasons because at least one of those students is going to have more airtime, more screen time, and I think it's most likely going to be Brushandria. And that's how, and one way to give Brushandria more screen time is to have her in a storyline which kind of links to Rashad Tate, which I think will happen. like I said, I think they're either gonna sleep together or work together. It's gonna be one or the other, I believe. Obviously I could be wrong, they could do neither, but that's just what I'm thinking for the reasons that I've stated. But if they do work together now, the question is, why would they work together? And I think one possible theory I've got, one possible way they could work together is Brushandria might get in trouble some way. Let's not forget who put the drugs in Lauren's room. It was Brushandria, and now Lauren's wearing a wire. So if Lauren and Brushandria talk about that subject and it pops up and Brushandria speaks about how she put it in Lauren's room, Brushandria could get in trouble with the feds because of that. Even if it doesn't play out like that, she might still somehow get caught, and the feds might still somehow find out that she was the one that put the drugs in the room. And we know that she's a course correct customer. Even in season 1, I remember one of the scenes where she was telling other students about course correct. So she's a course correct customer. So she might get caught. So it wouldn't surprise me if she gets caught with one of the drugs, or the feds start asking her questions. I remember another episode as well where the guy that was doing the deliveries for course correct, he knocked on Brushandria's door to give her the course correct package, and it was Brushandria's mum. Brushandria's mum that opened the door and took it. And in another episode now, that same guy, he knocked on the door again. The same guy knocks on the door again, and again to deliver a course correct package as well, with the free sample. So again, I think there's a reason why they're consistently showing Brushandria with course correct packages. I mean, buying drugs from the course correct app and things like that. There's a reason why they're consistently showing her specifically. They're showing other characters too, but they're showing her a lot as well with drugs and course correct. And obviously recently she put the drugs in Lauren's room, so I'm thinking that they're showing her a lot with this course correct thing, buying stuff from course correct. She also put the drugs in Lauren's room. Even if let's say Lauren doesn't wear the wire in front of her, and that's not how she gets caught. Even that could be how she gets caught, but even if that's not the way she gets caught, there's gonna be somehow, some way, Brushandria may get interrogated by the feds as a result of having drugs or something like that. And that could potentially be how she speaks to Rashad Tate, and she gets in contact with Rashad Tate, and Rashad Tate could potentially help her. Like with that situation, and help her find a way to not get in trouble with the feds and to not get convicted for it. That's where she could ask Rashad Tate for help, or Rashad Tate might come to her and say to her and offer her a deal and say to her, "Oh, you need my help. I can help you with this. Get the police to drop the charges, etc. if you do something for me." That could happen. So I think that's one way I believe that Tate and Brushandria could end up working together. And Tate, with his connections, like, he could definitely, like, obviously his brother is a detective, so with his connection, he'd definitely be able to help her. He'll definitely be able to help her without too much trouble. If Tate does help her, what would Rashad Tate want in return? That's the question as well. But yeah, that's just one possible way I believe Tate and Brushandria could end up working together. Obviously, it might not play out like that, and even if it does play out like that, it might not play out exactly like that. But that's just one possible way that they could end up working together. And they could end up working together, like I said, the way it plays out, it might be nothing like that. It could be something totally, it could be a totally different way. But however it plays out, the prediction that I'm making is I think that Brushandria and Tate will end up working together, even if it's got nothing to do with this whole drugs thing and Brushandria having drugs or anything like that. Even if it's got nothing to do with the theory that I gave, even if it's got nothing to do with that, Brushandria and Tate will end up working together. That's my main prediction. And if they don't end up working together, they'll end up sleeping together. I think one or the other will happen. So just to make that clear. But that pretty much concludes this video. That pretty much concludes everything I wanted to say in this video. If you've liked it, give it a like. And like I say, if you want to see more content, be giving my thoughts, theories, predictions, opinions on various topics regarding Power Book 2, etc., then hit the subscribe button as well. But yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm out.